You know, we get a lot of work done doing what we do. Still working. Second one. We still under an hour too. Get the hooks done, then you get the verses done. This is what it means to be a publisher. I'm not even rapping. I get the beats, I get the best artists, and I get the work. You know what I'm saying? You get the engineers, and you go do what you gotta do. You don't gotta be a rapper to have your own music. This is my music, this is my song.
Big
get it.
business
You know what I mean?
music.
So music publishers do really two big categories of activities. The first are what we like to call creative publishing activities. So these are things that involve cultivating the songwriter's creativity, like having them be involved in writing camps and doing co-writes with other songwriters. There's activities that involve pitching that music, pitching those songs to music supervisors that license them for use in film and television, and pitching those songs to recording artists who might be looking for new music for their next single or their next album. And some music publishers are also involved in selling sheet music, right? Sometimes they'll utilize a company that specializes in selling sheet music, but these are all the different activities that a music publisher does to help really cultivate those songwriter skills and get that music out there, right? Separately from those, music publishers also do a whole host of what we call administrative activities. So these involve things like registering songs with performing rights organizations. In the US, it would mean registering songs with the MLC. It means tracking and collecting royalties from PROs in the MLC and registering songs with the US Copyright Office, for example. These are just a couple of examples. There's a lot more other things that go into administering the publishing. But when we say somebody is administering the publishing, we mean they are responsible for doing these administrative activities. So let's think about this now from the point of view of a US-based songwriter or publisher, right? Somebody who has the rights to a song in the United States. And we can do this analysis on a song by song, or in other words, song level basis. So when we talk about something called a self-administered songwriter, what we are talking about is a songwriter who is doing all of these things on their own. And frankly, all songwriters start off this way. They start like this. You don't become administered or published by some other company until you proactively sign up with one or enter into a contract with one, right? So all songwriters generally start as a self-administered songwriter where they are doing all these things on their own. Sometimes we also call these an independent songwriter, meaning there's no company helping them out with these activities. They're doing these on their own, okay? So that's different than an administered songwriter. In an administered songwriter scenario, the songwriter's handling all those creative activities on their own, but they've signed up with a publishing administrator to do those administrative activities. So an example of a publishing administrator would be Song Trust, for example. CD Baby used to have CD Baby Pro Publishing. Now they have something else that does some of these things, but not all of these things, right? So publishing administrators provide some or all of these different services to a songwriter or even to a publishing company. So if you are an administered songwriter, it means there is a publishing administrator handling these activities on your behalf for the songs that you have signed up with that administrator, right? So let's say you've been doing this for a long time. You might have some songs that are signed up with a publishing administrator, but some other songs that you are handling entirely. So this is a song by song analysis. You have to ask the question for each song, who is administering the publishing for that song, right? And then arrive at the answer. And then the third scenario, and if you might need to move my little picture out of the way if it's blocking part of the screen, is a published songwriter. In the case of a published songwriter, they have a publisher doing all of these things on their behalf, right? And again, it might be that you can imagine, there could be a songwriter that has different songs that fall into all three of these categories. So maybe the first 10 songs you wrote were with a publishing deal, and you have a publisher that is handling all those 10 songs. And then you came along, you decided to write another 10 songs, and you signed those up with a publishing administrator, but you're still handling all the creative aspects for those 10 songs. And then you wrote the last 10 songs, the last 10 in your catalog of 30, where you are handling everything, right? So you might be a songwriter where some of your songs are under each of these three scenarios, and that's totally fine. The key here is understanding who is administering the publishing for that song, because that is the party that needs to join the MLC, needs to connect to collect with the MLC and register that song.
Big Business Music Group.
Yo, niggas talking. Mind your motherfucking business, nigga. What up? Yo. Fuck them niggas, what's up? What up? Yo. Yeah. Look.
World changer.
If you was from the hood, they call me Chew. Dark skin and little chubby. Learn early from my pops. Niggas thought I make it ugly. I done made myself important. That motherfucker disgust me. And I'm making the plays that they not. If what it must be. Street money is weekly. The property shit be monthly. Moved outside of the checks to something comfy. And niggas still throwing up sets. So why you hungry? My money work for me. You better go find it custy. Look, we got nasty. I probably got next. Throw the bands at the jeweler. I'm buying my shit in sets. Got $1 million on a chip and another M to invest. Cop killers in the clip that'll bend that shit in your vest. Look, this shit is factual. My G's is actual. In the league, I'm valuable. A changer with an attitude. This shit is factual. My G's is capital. In the league, I'm valuable. A changer.
World changer.
Everything 100, I'ma keep it a G. Drop bars that go hard and make them OD. You can't rap about Reynolds without speaking to me. Knucklehead motherfucker, quick to jump on a V. Apply the pressure when I feel, cause who fucking with me? If I want it, then it's mine, and that's what it'll be. Yeah, I got a gift, my nigga, I be doing my thing in the cell. My phone dies every time that it rings. Nice work with the knife work. Before I check in, they gon' all tell you what my life worth. Nigga, I get it in, this shit is light work. Damned if I don't, when this shit just might work. Big
Business Music Group.